Gurur Dev, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. So I'm really very happy to be here. When I listened to the about the course, the details about the course, I was really thrilled to see that more than 1,000 uh, people have registered for this course. This reminds me when during Corona time when we offered some course on Samsadhani, there were 1,000 registered students, and approximately 750 continued. There were some problems because of Corona, some mishaps in some families. So some of them they dropped, but still 750 of them continued. And here also I see that uh, on average 80 to 90 people are uh, attending the course, but still I'm sure many of them, at least 6 to 700 of them will attend the examination and even oral examination. So now again another thing which since Soumya you mentioned about our first meeting in 2009, I would like to also tell uh, the next things that happened. I think in 2010 or 11, Venkat Subramaniam, he visited our department and presented the idea of Vyoma Labs, what he would like to do and all. And I was really very much impressed by. He was just a student at that time, if I remember. Uh, must be around 20, early 20s. And whatever he presented, I was really very much impressed by his vision. And in the next uh, 10, 15 years, now I see how he had shaped Vyoma Labs and how much efforts he is putting in spreading the knowledge of Shastras, Sanskrit Shastras, Sanskrit literature, Sanskrit language, everything. So, first of all, I wish uh, all the success to the Vyoma Labs, and I really congratulate all those who have participated, who are taking the course from Vyoma. Next, I would also like to say something about Dr. Leena Bhagini. Uh, Actually, she contacted me, informed me that she would be teaching this course, and she was looking through all the analysis which we had done, which we had presented in the e-reader format, and meticulously she was going through each and every uh, uh, element in it, be it morphological analysis or the compound analysis or the Karaka analysis. And she came up with the list of errata. And I was really happy that there are people who are really using these or looking at these uh, e-readers, and from critically they are looking at it. And when Leena Bhagini told me that she will be teaching this course, and for that purpose she is going through this, I was really more than happy to uh, make the corrections, because after all my system is going to be improved further. So there was swartha also in it. Okay, so with this, now let me come to uh, the what I would like to talk today uh, are two things. One, uh, what are these computational tools? What are their limitations? And today with AI technology, what is happening in the computer field and what we should be aware of. Okay. So first thing is, for most of our Sanskrit texts, translations are available. And normally what happens is we read the translations, we are happy. But not all translations are good. And when we look at more than one translations, we see that, oh, this person has translated it in this way, the other one has translated in that way. Which one is the correct one? And then comes the quest of looking at the original text. What exactly is the original text saying? And in order to understand the original text, we need to know Sanskrit very well. And it's not that difficult to know Sanskrit, but knowing Sanskrit very well takes some time. Uh, Most of the time, since most of the words are common to our language, modern Indian languages, so we find that these words are very familiar. And because of that familiarity, and because of the familiarity of the subject matter, like when we are reading Ramayana or Mahabharata, most of the time we know the subject matter. And then what happens is we miss the crucial points if we don't look at the origin and understand the original text. We miss some of the crucial points. Or sometimes we, if the meanings of the Sanskrit words in Sanskrit are different from the meaning of these words in modern Indian languages, our mother tongues, we may misinterpret them. So these are the dangers which we should be careful about. We should be aware about. And therefore, so these two things we have kept in mind. And from that point of view, we thought, okay, what we will do. And of course, one important thing is learning Sanskrit uh, takes, as I said, in the beginning we find it very easy, but as the texts are, we need to understand the text in detail. We may find it difficult to remember all the sutras, remember all the word forms and other things. And especially those who start learning Sanskrit uh, at an advanced age, they may find it difficult to memorize. I'm not saying that it is totally impossible to memorize. I myself tried memorizing Ashtadhyayi, and I was not, I could do it. In 1 week's time, I could memorize first Adhyaya completely. But then, what happens is once we are uh, at a certain age, we have various responsibilities, various other tasks, priorities change, and all that. And therefore, it's not possible sometimes to give complete dedicated time to learning Sanskrit. And in such cases, then, if we have some tools available which will help us, it's not that we are totally dependent on them. We try to memorize as much as possible, but it's possible that we may forget something, or we might not have memorized it properly. So, in order to check whether our memory is really faithful, we can go back to computer. And from that point of view, various computational tools were developed. So these computational tools, the first one, of course, is the morphological analyzer, generator and analyzer both. And it is analyzer which is more important, because when we are reading something, then we come across certain word and we now want to know what is the vibhakti there. So the analysis, and in order to know the analysis, you should know the generation. So computer knows the generation and then does the analysis. But just word analysis is not enough. We need to understand the complete sentence. And for understanding the complete sentence, our tradition itself has provided a means. They have provided a complete, I will say, an algorithm, step by step procedure for understanding a text. Now, how it started? It started from the Vedic literature itself. In the beginning, in order to protect Vedas, Mimamsakas started developing the theory for interpreting the Vedic literature. And then, uh, so they gave a procedure for understanding a text. They said there are three factors which one need to look at. One is akanksha, then yogyata, and the third one is sannidhi. And then using these, of course, later on the Nayayikas also pitched in, and Nayayikas are the logicians. They were interested in doing the inferences. So when you are inferring something from the given postulates, then there also the you need to understand the meaning of each of the shlokas or each of the sentences, and then uh, do the inference part. So how to understand these? So the Nayayikas, they pitched in, and later on grammarians also pitched into this. They, each of them have their own some differences of opinion are there, and these differences are related to which part of the word represents what kind of information. So there are some differences. These are minor differences for us human beings who are just interpreting some text. These differences don't actually matter. What we need to understand is how to use Panini's grammar and how to use the concepts of akanksha, yogyata, and sannidhi for understanding the text. And here, uh, of course, akanksha is, we are looking at the expectancies, which element in the sentence has expectancy for what other element in the sentence, etc. And these elements uh, being words or part of the words or meaningful units, it's possible to model or ask machine to come up with model yogyata and ask machine to represent the yogyata or tell us about the yogyata, sorry, akanksha, tell us about the akanksha. But then the next thing is yogyata. Yogyata is the uh, compatibility between the meanings of the units. And when you have two units, uh, two words, and we need to see whether the meanings denoted by these words are compatible with each other. To give an example, suppose we have something like yanam vanam gacchati. Yanam has dvitiya vibhakti, vanam also has dvitiya vibhakti. But then vanam has the yanam has the capacity to go from one place to another. The But vanam is something which is achala. It cannot move. So it cannot be karta for the gamana vyapara. Whereas yana can be karta for this activity. Now, this knowledge that yana has the capacity to be karta, is capable of being a karta, and Vana is not, this information, this knowledge, still machine does not have, because machine is looking only at the words, not at the word meanings. Of course, there are efforts to represent all this information, ontological classification, and various semantic um, information they are trying to attach with lexicon and all that, but there are always limitations to such activities. Just to give an example, suppose you say, for eating, the person, the one who, the karta for eating activity should be animate, and the thing which is to be eaten should be something which is eatable. Okay, but then we come across sentences. I will give a Hindi sentence. Suppose mother is busy with something and the child is continuously uh, behind her and then asking something or the other, and mother gets disturbed, and mother then says, "Mera sir क्यों खा रहे हो?" Now here, sir, the head, is not something which is eatable. Okay, so how to model this? Machine then will fail if we give rules that the thing should be eatable. Then machine will fail here. And again, eatability uh, differs from uh, whoever is the karta. Depending on karta, the eatable things will change, right? So there will be carnivorous animals, there will be herbivorous animals or carnivorous plants, etc. We need to then uh, map uh, who can eat what. And then now you see, you have some 30,000 words in the dictionary. For each word, you have to write who can eat what. This is for eating. Similarly, for going, for every activity, you will have to list all these things. This is a tremendous task. And therefore, as of now, machine does not have this knowledge of yogyata. Machine fails here. But then, what this chat GPT is doing, can I take 5 more minutes? Uh, Soumya?
Sure,
Oh,
Bhagini,
yes,
sure.
please. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
So, what this chat GPT is doing is something very interesting. Uh, See, even for children, if we want to teach children uh, that who can eat what, etc., we don't teach them all these things. Children learn from observations. And many times we also learn language just through observation. When a child is born, we don't start teaching the child grammar. Child learns the language and then consequently we teach the grammar. So how a child learns language? Through observation. So these chat GPT, etc., these models, what these are based on large language models. So what do they do is, huge amount of data is fed to machine, and machine looks at all those and learns something through observations. So what to learn, what to, where to look at, all these algorithms are given to machine. These are the machine learning algorithms, and machine learns from these. But then, what are the limitations of this? Machine learns through observations, but if machine learns something wrong, it's not possible for the current AI systems to fix it or to correct it. Only way to correct it is give more data, which is correct, and but then it may happen that machine learns this part correctly but forgets something else, and then this process goes on. So while using the chat gpt, etc., we should be very careful. We should see that there are no misinterpretations, and therefore courses of such kind where you are learning grammar At the same time, you are learning how to read and understand texts. These courses are very important. And I'm happy that Vyoma Linguistics has um, taken initiative in running such courses. And I'm sure after Ramayana, they will start Mahabharata, maybe Bhagavad Gita first to start with, and then Mahabharata. And meanwhile, for Bhagavad Gita, we already have done some analysis. You can use that analysis further. And Mahabharata also, we have started the work for annotation. Ashrama Vasika Parva is already completed, so we can start with Ashrama Vasika Parva and go ahead. Now, I would also like to know feedback on using these tools so that we can improve these tools further. And if anybody is interested in contributing, of course, we need people who will oversee and guide those who are enthusiasts. So we can form a group where there can be some people, senior persons who will look that we will who will see that the analysis these people are doing are correct. And um, then we can also start adding more e-readers to the repository. So with this, I stop. I thank again for using Samsadhani in this course, especially Leena Bhagini, who took lot of efforts in going through the complete analysis of online e-reader. And of course, I thank Vyoma for running such a beautiful course. Thank you. Namaste.